I mean, if it's happening, the same thing is happening. I would
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for turning up and standing together as a community and giving a strong message to the hate and to the racists that the community stands together and nobody can destroy the fabric of this society. So thank you so much and respect to all of you. Well done. I'm going to ask Brother Ziad to give an update after I have said, after I will say a few words, and he will update about the community meeting which happened yesterday around the police chief, and they will update you, kind of, you know, what a productive meeting it was, and how we are all going to stand together, and we are going to make sure all these riots and all these hate marches, they basically shut down. And this can be only happen or only be possible when the community stands together and when people work together like this. Thank you so much. last week, you might have noticed some atrocities which happened because our attention got diverted toward all these riots. We noted that there were two big attacks in the courtyard of the Al-Aqsa hospital. There were 3 attacks on the 3 sheltered schools. And these attacks resulted in the killing and the murder of many women, children, and innocent civilians. And what we always point out and what we stand here, we stand for 2 main reasons. The first one is the respect for international humanitarian laws. While our attention was diverted, what it caused was a severe violation of the international humanitarian laws. The hospitals and schools, they are the protected premises. The healthcare workers, they are protected. They should not be killed. They should be allowed to do their work because this is the normal duty which they should be performing and they should be protected. While doing them, they have been killed. And this is against the international humanitarian laws. And this is the message which we have been saying again and again, and this is what we keep saying, that hospitals are not a target, healthcare workers are not a target, but there has been a constant violation of that. And we stand here together again to strongly oppose that, and we ask to stop that. And it's very important to do the ceasefire and to open a humanitarian corridor to let the medical supplies go in and let the doctors and other healthcare workers do their work which they can do safely. So while these riots are going on and the attention is diverted, we need to ensure that we do not stop raising this awareness and we do not stop getting this message across that we need to stop this violence. We need to ensure the continued respect of the international humanitarian laws, and we need to stop that. And we need to continue to keep raising this awareness and continue to engage with our MPs and our government and our Prime Minister to please continue to respect and continue to raise the voice for this. What is important is it raises the question of morality and humanity. We need to use our moral compass and we need to engage that why it is important and why we need to raise our voice for humanity. Because all the children and all the women and all the civilian healthcare workers which have been killed in this, they do not deserve this. And we need to stand together with them at this time. Another important issue which raises from this, and I want to particularly focus this attention towards that killing with the bombs, gunfires and all this is one part. But using the destruction of the healthcare infrastructure and to directly or indirectly killing the civilians is a big war crime. And this is essentially using this as part of the biological warfare. And this is against the international humanitarian laws. Right now what you see is, as a lack of the healthcare facilities, people are not able to get the life and limb-saving treatments. Both the hospitals and the community primary services, they have been completely destroyed. As a result of that, there is a severe epidemics of so many diseases, which includes hepatitis A, which includes skin diseases, COVID, scabies, and so many other diseases. People are suffering due to that, and that is directly and indirectly resulting in a lot of the increased number of the deaths. We have seen that there is the evidence of the polio virus in the water right now. Think of the consequences in the next few weeks to months, what will come out of it. This is directly enabling basically these so many diseases to cause so much damage. And when these patients are not able to go to any healthcare facilities and take the treatment, this is against the international humanitarian laws. This is directly part of the war crime. And this is what we stand against for, and this is what we ask for to help and to basically promote the international humanitarian laws. So once again, I would request that please continue to write to your MPs and continue to write to our government that please they stand for the respect of the international humanitarian laws and for the protection of the healthcare facilities and for the healthcare workers. Thank you so much. Thank you. I would like you all to basically silence in respect of the healthcare workers for 1 minute, and then we start again. Thank you. Thank you. I would like Brother Zia to come and update us about the meeting from yesterday, and then I will say a few more words after that as well.
Good evening, everyone. Good to see all of you again, and really nice to see some new faces, and I hope that the number of people that are coming here on a weekly basis increases, and the momentum continues. We're on day 307. Just to put it into context, sometimes we lose track of the days and the weeks and the months that have passed since this genocide has been ongoing. Nearly a full year since this horrific attack started, and I think it's really difficult to focus on what's happening in our own city when this genocide continues. And as Dr. Junaid said, it's almost like whenever there's a world incident or a crisis anywhere in the world, it provides additional cover for the Israeli authorities to carry out more atrocities on the people of Palestine, and specifically on the people of Gaza. I was just thinking about what Junaid was saying about the issue of the waterborne diseases. The update we got today from the team in Gaza was that about 10,000 tons of sewage water is now flooding Gaza City. The whole infrastructure obviously has been destroyed, and we know that the people that survived the bombs and the bullets are now going to start losing their lives to hunger and disease. And that's why we can't afford to let up, and we have to keep the momentum going. I know there was some reports about arms sales being halted to Israel from the UK government. Obviously, we would welcome that, but I think it's more an administrative delay in processing the licenses as opposed to taking a political stance. But we've seen that entities around the world, including the civil servants in the government itself, that are protesting this. I think the latest corporation is Microsoft employees are now internally lobbying not to support illegal Israeli settlements in Palestine. And I only mention these things because when you gather here in Hull, in this small corner of this, near the hospital, and we talk about the health workers, sometimes we forget the ripple effect that it can have and the impact it can have on a global scale. And sometimes even when it feels like just a few of us are not really going to make a difference, what's the point turning up week in, week out? We have to remind ourselves of the changes that are coming into place, the small incremental changes that are happening, and the chips away at this brick wall that we've been trying to knock down for so long. And seeing some of these stories hopefully inspire us to stand and to continue and not to give up. And I think as you hear racists like this who just passed us saying, I wish I killed more people in Iraq, it's a reminder that the hatred that exists for people in Palestine, it runs deep in our community. It is amplified by hate influences online. It is protected by our politicians to a certain extent. And those that are now, some of whom have even been elected into power, are repeating these rhetorics of hate. And I think when we see hatred in our own streets, where people are coming to burn down hotels that are housing asylum seekers and refugees who have probably escaped from horrific war-torn situations. We know how easy people can be influenced and to become hateful. And so we have to continue, not just here, but also in our conversations with people who are not here, in our conversations on our commute, in our workplaces, with our friends, with our neighbors, online, in social media. Because there is a tirade, there is a tsunami of hatred that is now flooding all of our lives, whether it's online or offline. And if there isn't a resistance to that, and if we're not pushing back to that, and if we're not giving the alternative narrative, and we're not advocating for peace, then hatred will eventually win, and we cannot allow for that to happen. Just to give you an update on yesterday, we had over 100 people from the community gather on a community centre of Springbank.
Somebody coming up behind.
The aim of that was for people to show solidarity with those that were targeted and victimized by the far-right extremists that descended on our city centre and on Springbank. We made it very clear to the people in power that were in the room. We had the MP for Hull West and Hessel, or Halton Price I think it's called now. We had the Chief Superintendent from Homicide Police. We had the Ward Councillor, and we had a couple of other elected officials who hold several portfolios in the city, including Children's Services. And we gave them a strong message to say that their response on August the 3rd, when hate took over our streets, unfortunately was not enough. We had to remind them that the alarm bells had been raised weeks and weeks in advance, because people in the community at grassroots level, at gatherings even like this, have been hearing the hate-filled comments, have been receiving the hate-filled emails, have been seeing the calls for incitement of hatred and violence online, and have been reporting them. And each time they were told that they don't see this as a huge risk. The policing did their best, but because they underestimated the level of hatred that existed and how freely it was allowed to be spread, they were inundated. When they tried to protect the hotel, they didn't have enough people to protect the mosque. When they brought people to the mosque, then the city centre fell into the hands of the far-right extremists. Our Prime Minister likes to use the term thuggery, and I think that is a cover for what's happening. We cannot accept this terminology, and we told the people in power in this city that we will not accept this terminology, and language is important. They are Islamophobic, they are racist, and they are extremists, and we cannot allow them to reign over our streets. We were given assurances that we will be heard, we will be listened to, that plans going forward will be more thought through, that communication with communities will be a lot better, that engagement with grassroots organisation will increase and improve. And when they told us that we're ready to look forward and not look back, we had to remind them that we will never go forward until we learn from the lessons of our past. Because it's not the first time people have tried to carry these kinds of hatred acts in our city. And if we don't learn from these mistakes and these incidents, we're never going to be prepared to eradicate them going forward. So I think we got some solace from the people that turned up. I think the fact that the people from the council, the leadership, as well as the MP turning up and taking questions and being held to account is a positive step. So I think as difficult as it is, we should always welcome people willing to put their hands up and say, we didn't do as well as we should have. We did get an apology from Homicide Police for their response and their communication or lack thereof. And I think again, if people make a mistake and put their hands up and say, we could have done better, I think we should be graceful enough to accept that and hold them to account going forward. But I think more importantly, the thing that was the most important part of yesterday was over 100 people that represented the best of our community turned up. And in the face of the worst in society, it is the best in society that will quell that fire and that will quell that pressure, and that ultimately the hatred will fail. So I think the message is hopeful, that I think we saw something horrific that nobody in our lives have ever experienced in the city of Hull. But I think the fact that the community came together the following day, that have been engaging since then, and the authorities have come together to say we're ready to listen, to take your advice and to take action, is a positive thing. But I want to finish by coming back to the reason we're all here. That we've got these things, these elements in our society. And the reason we mobilize so quickly to stand up against them and to make a statement and to galvanize and to unite was because we do not want to be in a situation that we see our brothers and our sisters in humanity are facing in places like Palestine, where people can be so brainwashed against an innocent population to a point where they're not seen as human anymore. What's happening in our streets and in our country as a whole right now, these are the early steps of the kind of things that happen in other places, and it led to things like genocide, whether it's in Srebrenica in Bosnia, whether it's what we're seeing right now in Palestine. So wherever we see hate, whether it's on our shores or elsewhere, we have to continue to stand. So I'm grateful for all of you for coming here week in, week out. We're trying our best, all of us that come, to keep spreading that message, and hopefully we can see more and more people continuing this momentum and remembering the absolutely critical part of the infrastructure of Gaza, which are the health workers, because the ones that are still alive, they are going to need the health workers to survive until there is a ceasefire and until eventually there is freedom for the people of Palestine. Thank you.
Thank you, Ziad. That was a really, really good update. So, I would emphasize again that we are writing the open letter to the MPs in Hull, and we are also starting to write for the east of Yorkshire. So please continue to add signatures, and we need as many signatures, and we need to put a joint message from all the members and the backgrounds of the communities that what we really stand for. So please do sign that letter and add your name to that. Unfortunately, the event which was supposed to be yesterday in the community center has been cancelled as per the fears over the weekend and due to the safety concerns. But we will soon announce a new date, and we will give the time and venue, and hopefully we will do that, and we will raise the funds, and we will stand together for that. However, the event which is happening on the 31st of August is still there, and that's not been cancelled, so please be prepared for that one. Meanwhile, we are going to come with some more events, including both online and in person, and we will come up with some more ideas about the fundraising and other supplies. So please be part of it and do play your part and do what you can. And please, thank you, continue to raise awareness and be part of advocacy. I would like to highlight the importance of the advocacy. It is the importance of advocacy. Don't underestimate that few of us standing together, and what is the impact of that. It is due to the impact of all this advocacy and the community standing together that there are positive changes which are happening. Changes like, why the UK government has dropped going back from the arresting orders on the Prime Minister Netanyahu. Similarly, the cancellation of the license for the arms. Although there is some administrative delays and things like that, but things are happening, and together we stand and we push for it, and it will happen. There has been another not a very good news in which the government of UK and USA have boycotted and they did not go to Japan, and they cancelled their the memorial service for the Nagasaki. And these are the points. We do not need to be quiet, and we do not need to accept these things. This is where you go and you name and shame, and you ask them that they need to send an apology for that. Because if the government of Japan took a moral stance and they did the right thing, so this is where we need to support them. So this is where we need to name and shame our government, and we need to ask them to apologize for this, and they should not have done that. And only as the members of the community standing together we can do that, and we can achieve this. So these are all the points which come from all these. So please take them and please do what you can, and do your role for advocacy on the social media, personal life, and do what you can, including your family members, your friends, and try to spread the message as much as you can. If there are any more ideas, please come and chat, and we share, and we try to build together and see what we can do more, and we look forward to all these new ideas as well. So thank you so much for coming again. Stay safe, stand together. Together we make this society, and we should not let a minority of terrorists destroy the fabric of our society. So my strong message again, stay together, stand together, and together we stand. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And so we'll be selling food and things and forecourt and then we'll What's your name?
sure at the time it wasn't very nice, but yeah.
My head is
It is a bit of a big leap.
helpful, wouldn't it?
But no, it was short-lived in a sense. It was a nice little time. I soon realised that it got too long. I don't worry at all. Yes, that's right. Hey.
Are you okay?
Are you part of the...
No, I'm the, it's my channel.
Huh?
It's a YouTube channel. I came before.
Yeah.
You can watch it, and it's Paul and Islam. That's the channel. Yeah, tell me about the channel. Yeah.
الإسلام. هل الإسلام. اخبار يا ايش الاخبار؟ هو صراحة غريب الموضوع. بعدين تحكي هي راح
Back again? Always bad. Always bad.
Thank you.
So I try and track people along, but you know what they're like.
Do what you can. If not, you are coming, that means a lot. So thank you so much.
That's fair enough.
Thank you.
See you, Dr. Julie.
Thank you.
Speak soon, yeah.
Hi, Mommy.
Take over.
Are you gonna leave? Are you gonna leave? Are you gonna leave the
That's pleased with that. Never should have problem. Finish?
لا ماليش معايا اي لينك، انا هكون معاك عشان انه تقرا شو هي المواعيد تبعتي كثير، فبحاول قد ما اقدر احاول اكتب مع بنتي. يوم الاحد راح احط بس ان شاء الله حياتي ان شاء الله.
FilmingDate?
بحكي له اعمل لي خطه لا بعرف ايش.
ليش انت صاحبك عايزوش عنده جول شيف روح زي ما بدك. تعملها؟
Alright, okay. Lovely to meet you. I did see you look up, I didn't realise you were real.
Oh, fair play, don't worry. No, no problem. Hopefully we can.
Take care.
Take care.
Yeah, that's English. Well, I didn't get to the code. I put
Are you dogs? Are you?
I don't know, maybe could maybe audio.
Just like bits of like what Jimmy spoke
Yes.
Can I borrow that for him to hold? And I'm going to take a photo. Are you hold that, brother?
It's in the early stage of the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still working on it. So, hopefully, I don't know how to cut it. I could maybe. Do you need any portion?
Thank you.
Come on, come back.
Oh, yes, you could share the how are you? Okay? Oh, yeah.
Abbas, just okay.
Just be careful, be careful.
Add some more content to it. Yes, yeah. I'm working on it. It's early stage, yeah. So just
saying if you could have like a show
And just, do you have any Instagram page?
not really. Yeah, I think I should open one and then.
I think you should start. So Instagram, links that.
I could use the same footage.
Yeah, and get some short clips of this and that, and that we just got. And actually get one thing more with this. It's really good gadgets. And try to get a small drone as well.
Yes, so yeah. So you could do it aerial. Yes.
Yes. We did report some. If you follow our Instagram page, so with a mix and match, we managed to.
Yes. Yeah, I'm Khan is there. So yes. Just for time being, I'm just doing whatever they're using.
These are just the it's your
well, I do like a short video. Yes.
Because people stories.
Maybe like a part 1, part 2. Oh yes, and the one video, compilation of videos. Yes. Yes, yeah. It's gonna attract more different kind of people.
Yes. Exactly. And like short version, like give a heading comes with say, know about international humanitarian law.
Yes.
Where I gave one kind of 30 second explanation, and then talked about where we talk about Islamic phobia, talk about Islamophobia, and things like that. So how to get the message across with quick things like that.
Yes, we are using different. I've seen people doing it, but I'm not really good at digital stuff. I'm in fine art, so it's totally different.
Try to get one software only, and with that do the editing of the videos. All of them are actually free as well.
Yes.
There's one single one which you have to use.
Yeah.
Use that to edit
Yeah, the thing is, the cost. Oh yeah, I should find one free.
Even though I'll try to find. Actually, I tell you what. You know, if you use TikTok,
Yes, I couldn't use TikTok, but I could open.
you can open an account. People, a lot of them use TikTok to edit the video.
Oh yes,
There are
yeah,
so
yeah.
many things that you can make a nice sound. You can use it for that purpose. That's free.
Yeah, I've seen people doing it. Inshallah, yeah, thanks, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Are you on call? That's my advice on the city.
The easiest thing was just open this garden and put the stuff in. I have to run in the garden because I had to right there, but let's work with me rather than staying with them. I would like to, if there's another, not kiddie box, medical stuff, but it's about like delay 2 hours. So
That's why it's very important to choose the right
and what happened today, I was on my way to the it's good to have one, and it is really busy, and it becomes busy while you are waiting, so it's like expected to arrive 3:30, then while you're on the way, it gets delayed farther and farther and farther. Thank you. I just came in as well to pick up my stuff as well. There's a lot of stuff to buy. Let's help you guys. Let's leave overwork you.